Recently, I saw a funny cartoon on LinkedIn. It's a person standing up at a podium, a crowd of employees out in front of him. First frame, he says, "Who wants change?" Everybody's raising their hand. Second frame, he says, "Who wants to change?" Eyes are wide, nobody's raising their hand. Third frame, he says, "Who wants to lead change?" Cloud of dust, everybody's run off. It's a cartoon, so it's meant to be funny, but I think it also illustrates one pretty important example that culture change is tough. It can be very tricky to formulate a real strategy, and even harder to roll it out and implement. We keep hearing from a lot of our HR contacts that despite being one of the most written about topics, culture change is particularly difficult to learn via lectures and TED Talks and online thought leadership. And we also hear that some of the better content is case studies. It's the success stories of real people taking action and being able to identify real outcomes. So we wanted to help take that a little further. So we recently invited 15 HR executives here in Chicago to get together, share experiences, and brainstorm and troubleshoot different solutions. By collaborating in a very workshop format, it seemed that the general consensus was that it's a profoundly useful way to tackle some of the more tricky subjects like culture change. So, in the spirit of that collaboration, we thought we wanted to share some of the most interesting comments that were made during the roundtable. One of them was, reward the people who do it right. Strategize around what is the reward and how do you make these people visible. You have to identify, engage, and support the early adopters. Another one that got a lot of smiles and head nods in the room, mid-level managers is where change truly happens and takes root. So these HR execs, they love being able to get together, bounce ideas and challenges off each other, and brainstorm these potential solutions. I even wondered, and I've run it by a couple different HR contacts, what if there was a sort of exchange program where you could observe culture change in other workplaces? Radical idea, yes, but what if there was a way to implement this and observe people and shadow somebody who's really being successful at it? A lot of the positive feedback we had from the roundtable, we're definitely hoping to put on many more of these events where we can get the wisdom of the crowd together to increase the impact that we're having on some of these tricky conversations. And at least in the example of this one HR executive group, it made all the difference.